guys, welcome back. So today on Modern Masters Auto, we have a change of scenery. We are actually at my parents here in Port Orange, Florida, down by Daytona Beach, and I brought my G-Wagon and my GT. We had a really cool stop to make in Georgia. We stopped at DC Motorworks to check out some manually shifting AMGs and celebrate their 4th anniversary. That was a great time. My friend Matt from Ben's House, shout out to Ben's House, invited me. But seriously, thanks to Cameron and the guys at DC Motorworks for having us, showing us around, full tour, food, drinks. It was a very good party. I'm really happy with what they're doing over there, and I'd like to collaborate with them and manual swap my W212 E63. I think having 1,000 horsepower in a manual, you know, I've always been a huge fan of the CTSV platform, but I'm a Mercedes guy, so it'd just be really great to get that kind of same feel in my E63. I think it'll wake it up, and it kind of, you know, I haven't really driven that much usually, the last couple of years, like 10,000 miles, which sounds like a lot, but it's not for me. I think if it was manual, I'd be out in it more, just enjoying it more like I do the AMG GT. So, what is the elephant in the room? What is the big black elephant in the room behind me? It is a G-Wagon. I towed the GT with the G-Wagon down here. It is a 2003 G500 and probably one of the highest mileage G500s I personally know of. It is 280,000 miles. There's no leaks. Did a simple exhaust system on it because the cats were plugged up to bring it down here. I'm gonna be doing a tune-up at my dad's shop and showing you guys his powder coat room. That's where he's gonna start doing a lot of our AMG powder coating. Stuff I have time to send him and all that to keep in stock, certain colors, blacks and common things, reds. But we're doing a G63 brake swap to this, so he's gonna go and powder coat those valve covers. We're doing a compressor swap to this, so he went ahead and powder coated the surge shanks and the valve covers in a beautiful bronze. You guys have seen those pictures online. Anthony will put that picture in now. So the reason behind this, so my ML63, I just got it back, the bi-turbo one, did a bunch of stuff to it, was gonna do content with it, but we have another 157 in the works for content, so I really didn't need it. And my customer borrowed it while I worked on his CLS, and he had to have it. He wanted an SUV version of his bi-turbo car. So we did a deed. There was this G-Wagon that Phil from VRP had found. We got it. It was gonna be a project for VRP, but instead I did the trading with my ML63 and I got this. And this is for the, you know, the YouTube production company. So we're just gonna be doing videos for it. But the biggest thing is, since I did my ML500 compressor swap years ago, everybody's been blowing me up to do a DIY style video on that. So we're taking the 55 compressor and putting it on this G-Wagon, and we are going to show you how to do it utilizing the VRP 6-rib belt setup. So it will use just the the regular 6-rib belt. It'll just be bigger, use the regular tensioner. You don't have to add all that 55 water pump and belt wrap kit and all this and that. And we're gonna do, it's gonna be minimalist budget. I have zero money into this vehicle. It has super high miles. We're going to dyno it. I'm going to hopefully get it back to the shop after this trip. I'm going to a class down here. That's another reason I'm down here. I'm going to an automotive class, 2 of them actually, one for tuning and one for air conditioning, because I need to re-up my certification. So that is why I'm here. But let me tell you something. I made a mistake yesterday. I went ahead, I was in a rush. I was helping my dad and I sent the tune off, or the stock file off to the tuner, and I left the key in the ignition because he had me in a hurry and the battery's dead. But luckily I brought my Milwaukee charger, so we're gonna see if this juices it up and fires it off, because it was completely dead. I mean, the key was on the ignition overnight. But here she is. This is the M113 that we're about to rip apart at my dad's shop to do plugs and wires and get it back safely. It did a heck of a job towing down here. I had no trailer brakes. We wired up the 7-way trailer connector from G-Wagon Accessories, and it does not include any trailer braking system. So luckily, my stepmom was able to order a Bluetooth, like a Kurt Bluetooth trailer brake thing. So this episode's basically for my G-Wagon guys that plan to tow with these, because we're gonna do a tune-up. We're gonna talk about how it tows. We're gonna show it off, check it out. Then we're gonna take it back to the shop and we are going to put a supercharger on it, because the 2 things it lacks for towing was braking and power. It had okay power, but if we just put that blower on for 50 to 100 wheel horsepower extra, that little bit, it's going to go so far with towing and really utilizing this G-Wagon. And I'm trying to learn how to tune it and the tuning process of these NA cars. So this is kind of like my guinea pig into all of that, because I really want to help the community out and be able to supercharge all these NA cars. There's a lot of 500s, 430s, ML55s, you know, a lot of 55 cars actually that don't have a supercharger. So, and I've done it in the past, I haven't done any videos on it. So we're really gonna dial into that. But they do look good down here. There was an awesome show. And how about we just get right into it? Let's get this thing fired off and then get it to my dad's shop, and I'll show you around there, and then we'll do a tune-up. All right, guys, let's see if she fires off. Nothing. There we go. It was the settings. You got to mess with that thing. It's a little different. That's pretty impressive. So I'm not sure what I was doing when I was just pressing this, but when I got it to do this, it made this like buzzing sound, and then it fully sent power to the system. And the alternator seems to be charging pretty good. I've never supercharged anything with a mechanical fan, so that's gonna be hilarious. It seems to cool pretty efficiently, and then it has these really loud dual fans up front, electric fans for when the AC is on. That was that secondary air injection pump, super loud. We're about to not have that anymore. And from underneath, I saw that this coolant pump right here, the auxiliary coolant pump was leaking. So we're gonna have to replace that when we get back. I'm gonna get rid of this whole cowl. I'm gonna move this back, and then I'm gonna put a underhood tank right here for the supercharger. For the miles though, this is pretty incredible. All right guys, we are at 281,335 miles. As you can tell, AC works. I mean, this is Florida heat. AC works great. The truck drives great. So what I'm trying to tell you people is run out while these prices are down and get an old G-Wagon. Get yourself a 500. My buddy Phil got a G320 imported from Japan, and we're making a Whipple supercharger kit for the G320s, the C320s, the 32s, SLK32, C32, Chrysler Crossfire 2 Mercedes motor. Anything M112, we're making this Whipple kit for. It is going to be an awesome Whipple kit, tons of modular features, really good cooling over the factory supercharger of the 32 cars. It's going to be awesome. It might even like be more efficient than the regular V8 compressor supercharger, so we might have to look into that. But this thing is great, man. This thing is great. Fuel mileage, not so great. I was gonna wash it, but it's just really kind of dusty. I'll do that before I leave. Let's get right to my dad's shop and let's get these spark plugs out, because I want to see, you know, the maintenance on here looks good, but I want to see when they were replaced last, check them out, and see if we can get a little bit better fuel mileage on the way home. It would definitely help now that I'll have trailer brakes, I'll tell you that. Whew, that was rough, because this thing can go, but stopping and all that weight on the, you know, all the stopping force onto the ball makes the trailer do one of these, and it's just not worth it. Not worth it. I really haven't driven it much without the trailer, so this is going to be probably one of the coolest top swap compressor cars ever, just because, as you guys know, I tow a lot, and I like to tow with my Super Duty, but I tow a lot for events, and my truck looks so out of place. Now, if I'm towing for work, you know, if I want to give you guys the best deal to tow a car to the shop, of course, use my rollback or my truck. But if I'm towing to a car show that's far away for the E63, like that car is just a lot to drive, you know, because I like to keep it on ethanol and all that stuff. So a lot of places I go, they don't have it, so I like to tow it there. And how much better would it be to tow with this? You know, I could unhook the trailer and this could also enter the car show. Because this is going to be, it's going to have G63 brakes, maybe super cleaned up. But this is a budget build, guys. I'm not building this with like, oh, open checkbook or open shop use. No, like this is a supercharger that I already had. It did not cost me anything. It actually came off of Alex from Legit Street Cars Whipple Wagon. When we did the swap on that, we had to turn in a supercharger for the runners we cut off. I had a blown up supercharger I gave to them, and I kept Alex's good supercharger because I wanted to do something cool with it. And this is it. I'm gonna be putting it on the G-Wagon. was actually on my ML500 first, but when I sold that years ago, I took the blower off of it. They wanted it NA. So we're going to have that supercharger. Then all the calipers I have for the swap are from a C63. I'm gonna use brackets, company donated brackets, because they just wanted to see this happen. And I have the calipers. My dad's gonna donate the powder coating, so $0 and all of that. The calipers I acquired because I bought a car for an engine. The engine sold more than I got the car for, and the rest was basically unusable because how bad it was wrecked up, but the calipers were still good. So I got the calipers. This did not come with a spare tire, and I just couldn't drive it around. It did not look like a G-Wagon to me without the spare tire. I'll show you guys that. My buddy had one that's kind of damaged and stuff, so he hooked me up with that. I don't know if you can see while I'm driving, but I press this little button back here, and it has these starlights. I'll show you guys that later, but yeah. I put LED lights in that I had at the shop, you know, so it's super bright. That's cool. Came with an Android Auto, connect my phone to it, all that stuff. Exhaust we did. It did cost me some because it might have been parts I stocked, but that cost me money. So I might have like $500 in the exhaust. So $500 in the exhaust. We'll start a tally because I'm gonna have to buy some gaskets because I'm gonna do fresh gaskets on everything. The plugs and wires I ordered last night from my dad's shop. Plugs and wires on this, and my dad's cost was $500. So maybe he'll donate that because I'm doing a shout out, you know, showing off his shop and his powder coating stuff. So we'll see. We'll talk about that. Hopefully we can be like, you know, sponsor the G-Wagon build. So this is cool. And you know, another big thing about all this is I've lost a lot of family over the last year. My dad survived cancer. He has a heart condition. You know, they needed to do a heart surgery. So before he can get the knee surgery, they did something last year and it helped, and then it was getting better, and then he was about to get his knee surgery on his birthday this year, a month ago, and they did the pre-op whatever check over, and his heart failed one of the tests. So I just hope I hope he gets to have his heart surgery. I hope he gets to have his knee surgery, and he gets to become, you know, the man he was 5 years ago before all this cancer shit. So I really just want to come down here and spend time with him and, you know, help him out a little bit. My shop's in good hands. Georgie's, they have a long list of stuff to do without me, so they're taking care of things. Georgie's killing it back at home. Speaking of which, I gotta call Georgie, check on him for the day. So let me do that. And nothing on the dash. 281,339 miles, 77 degrees down here. It's running smooth. I did replace this screen. This screen you could not read before. It was all terrible. That was like $40 and 10 minutes of my time. So whatever you want to equate that to, but it is way better. And there's the Star headliner. I will show you that what it looks like at night because it is awesome. I like these little pillows too. Cool steering wheel. It's very nice. Horn works. This is awesome. V8. And got gonna get rid of all this wood grain on the doors and all down here and go with carbon fiber to match this. And once we're done filming all these videos, this vehicle may be for sale depending on you know, what we decide to do with the next line of videos or what Phil wants to do with making parts. So I might get a Alfa Romeo Guila, some four-door freaking Alfa Romeo AMG basically with a hand-built Ferrari engine. We might end up doing some content on that, and I'm gonna try to stray away. Like, I'll do some content on customer cars, but I'm gonna try to stray away from that because of certain things that's happened in my life, that if I'm gonna take the time to do this, it is not, and if it is not profitable for me to, my techs wait for me to film and all this stuff to get a project done. It kind of kinks the works. But if I do my stuff on the side, cars for sale or certain customer cars where we're like, you know, building an engine, I can set the camera there and record, obviously. But all the other stuff, when we're making stuff or it's an intricate build, I don't need to record it, and it just causes too much hassle. So when stuff that, you know, is not important, is as important, or it's just a DIY thing I want to show you guys, it'll be my vehicle or a specific customer vehicle that we, man, there was a Corvette 01. I love Florida. And I'm talking to my dad. I'm thinking about possibly doing a second location down here, because I'm down here so much anyway, visiting them as often as I can. My kids love to come down here to see them, and you know, my dad's getting older, and I don't want these years to go by and not spend as much time with him as I can. And that what woke me up to that is like losing my brother, losing my grandmother. It's like, dude, nothing is promised. You need to spend time with your loved ones. And if I can do business, because I love business, I love to work. If I can have a shop of guys down here and a shop of guys up there and get to see all sides of my family and more work is getting done, sign me up. Because I tow a lot of AMGs from Florida. If I just had a shop down here and a good shop foreman, it would be great. But I don't mean to make this video a TED Talk. I just haven't got to sit down and like really, you know, talk to you guys. And I wanted to in this video, and I just freaking think this G-Wagon is awesome. So I hope you guys too, and I hope you enjoy the content. And hopefully we don't find anything crazy while we're just in there looking for spark plugs. Because I will make a list of stuff. Like, I already looked at the headers, and I'm like, I might have to put some VRP. They make these like long, straight ones. I had to put them on to freshen up the exhaust header portion, because everything down below is beautiful. But let's get to my dad's shop. Let's stop for some energy drinks. Monster, sponsor me. All right, guys, welcome to my dad's shop, Fat Boy Cycles and Auto Repair, and his powder coating shop. They do auto repairs from general maintenance to vehicles, to motorcycle repairs, tires, brakes, everything you need with a vehicle for maintenance. They also do custom motorcycle work. They do engines, they do new transmissions, they will powder coat everything, exhaust kits, and more. So make sure you guys check them out. I'm gonna start helping him out with social media so he can put out more of what he's doing. But we're about to pull in the G-Wagon and get started on this tune-up. All right, guys, this is his entry, office, showroom, all of that good stuff. This is the cool sign for the Fat Boy Cycles and Auto Repair and the TBC custom cycles and powder coating. He has all the colors up there you could choose from and more. Some cool photos of my stepmom's Jeep, her motorcycle, and my dad's motorcycle. And then of course some more photos over here. This is cool that it was my grandfather's Trans Am that is now my dad's, and one day will be mine. That's his motorcycle, and that's his other motorcycle and my stepmom's. And just a lot of cool things here in the office. Some powder coating, cool colors on display. And they do a lot of powder coating on motorcycle parts, as you can see right there. Love the bronze, I'm a huge fan of that. These are some bits, powder coated, some cool red behind chrome that has been on my dad's Trans Am on and off a couple of times. We're taking that Trans Am and we're currently trying to get it ready also to go to the track. So I want to, with all the new parts the GT has, I want to take it to the track and get some track numbers. And the track here is really good. So that's another reason why we're down here. Hint, hint. Wasn't really gonna tell you that until that came out, but here's a spoiler. So really nice office. I've been using it to run my shop. I got my laptop set up and everything to run the shop, but let's take a tour. So that's the office. And I always like these cool, he keeps wheels and tires in stock for motorcycles. I love those wheels. I have a V-Rod down here for when I ride with my dad, and I'd like to get those wheels. But this is his shop. Lots of cool things. Check out this Harley right here. This is one built by my dad. It is polished up. He just buffed all this black paint. That's why you can see all the reflections. This is a build that is for sale and is just a beautiful bike. I wish I had a bike like that. It is beautiful. And then this masterpiece over here is my dad's personal bike with the flat black and flat bronze powder coating. I mean, this bike is perfect. He's handicapped, so it's full air suspension with an air suspension kickstand. So it fully sits down on the kickstand. It kicks out so that he can get on and off the bike very easily. And just check out all that beautiful powder coat. You did everything. It has an amazing sound system in it. This bike would blow your eardrums out turned up. It is just beautiful. And he is super into the sound system. You know, my dad battled cancer, so he has that on there. But look at the paint on this bike. It's dirty because it's in the shop, but whoo, you can see the shimmer in that paint. My dad did a wonderful job on that bike as well as that one. And there's some other ones in the mix he has going on here. He has a cool chopper right here that is getting a custom trike kit. And then there's my V-Rod. He's about to get rid of all the blue, and it's gonna be black and teal the entire bike. I'm excited for that. That is an awesome bike. He has this workstation over here. This bike is looking awesome. I love a fat front tire along with a rear tire. This is gonna be a cool bike. So they do a lot of motorcycles on here. And then they have a lift right here for the automotive work, flat bay, and we're about to pull in the G-Wagon, get it in here and get started. My dad just started this shop. He bought it from a guy, and it's kind of like his retirement work, just to keep busy and to do what he loves to do. And I'm glad to come down and help him in any way I can. I'm excited we're going to this class together. And I'm glad that he got me the parts for my G-Wagon. Here they are. He hooked me up, ordered me some NGK Iridium plugs. It does take 16 of them. So we're gonna throw some plugs in it, some new wires, and then we are going to throw a tune on it in that trailer brake controller and tow the GT back home after our track use. So let's get started. Now would be a good time to like, share, subscribe, tell everybody about this video, because we are amping up the work we're doing on the AMGs. We're gonna be posting more, and I'm gonna be building more in-depth builds, and hopefully builds that we're just doing for sale on the side of everything that we're doing at the shop. So stay tuned. If you want an AMG, stay tuned on the ones we're building, because they might be for sale. I'm also thinking about doing a supercharged C55 giveaway this year, so be on the lookout for that. All right, let's get this G-Wagon in here and get started. Gotta love the sturdy sound of these doors. Should be good enough to do some spark plugs. Oh! Damn it. This might be a two-person job. If you're ever alone and you have to like hold the latch back, what I always do is pull the latch back, put a can of dip in there, set it on the can of dip, and then boom. Until you work on these old Mercedes, you gotta figure out tricks if you're working alone. So I'm gonna put a fan on this and let this cool down. Got my energy drink, some Zen, and we're gonna let this cool down and get this show on the road. Woo, look at all this junk right here. So when we do the blower, the secondary air injection goes away and the valves for it, and we're going to, this bracket right here, the front side of it comes off, the back side of it's built into the timing cover. You take like a buzz saw and cut it flush with the bottom of the timing cover, and then that gives you room for the supercharger. So that's all gonna go away once we do the supercharger. All right guys, so today is the day. We're gonna pull all this apart and we're going to be tuning her up. And you know what, let's check the oil and see how I did, because we just did oil change not too long ago. Let's see how I did on my trip. This thing does smoke a little bit when it's like idling. Oh, that's black. We are definitely doing an oil flush when we get back. And we are about a quart low. Quart and a half. So we're gonna have to get some 5W40 shipped over here to the shop. It's really on there. Air filters look pretty good. Could use some replacing, but since we're supercharging it, I'm not worrying about that. And this thing has an EGR, all that stuff, all that's about to go bye-byes. We're getting rid of that. We're getting rid of a lot of this extra weight junk around here. So we don't need it. We don't need it where we're going. I really don't need to take these off. I may just leave them. Looks like a few of these have been replaced individually. When I do the supercharger, I'm gonna replace all of them. So it looks like we have 2 OEM ones, 1 aftermarket one OEM Baru one. Like these two look original. Replacement Baru one. Hopefully my dad has the hose pliers I like to pull these off. And I'm gonna label these 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the other one's 5, 6, 7, 8. That way I remember where they go, and I'll change the wires out afterwards. Oh, I like these goofy looking needle nose. Got it. These ones, so like if you use these ones, they'll damage them, which I don't care because I'm replacing, but if you have the rounded hose, like needle nose hose pliers, I'll see if he has a set to show you, but they grab onto these really well without damaging them. But they came off nice. So we're gonna do one at a time and just go down the line so nothing gets mixed up. So I don't have time to play guessing games of, oh, where did it go? I got T27 here. This is a T27 screwdriver. I'll get some electric stuff here in a minute. I gotta ask my dad where all that stuff is in his shop. Everything's so, look at this. Clips just every time, man. Every time. But there you go. That's how you pop that off. And just look at the, let's say they needed replaced. And then the just nastiness. These cool packs need replaced also. And just look how gross everything is in here. Whew. These valve cover gaskets definitely need done. We're gonna pull these two first plugs out and check it out. All right guys, so I wrote on the first one and I'm just gonna put a 2, 3, and 4. So the big thing is, you know, and of course my master technicians never do this, but if you're doing it yourself or if you're trying to be organized in a hurry, like I am, I'm ready to drive home tonight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the wires are labeled. When the bench, once I have these all laid out, I'll be able to swap in the new wires by the lengths of how these were on the old coils. So there'd be no mix up, no mishap, and I won't be fighting it later to determine where they went. But let's pull these plugs out and see what they look like. All right, with the first one coming out, and they're kind of tight. Ta-da! There's the first one. There's a dirty bird. Look how worn down the electrode is. Wow. So guys, there, let's look at the difference. Old and busted, new hot. The electrode is completely worn away. F me, this needed done. Oh, that shows you how amazing these engines are to have ran with that terrible of a spark plug. Wow. But guys, look at this. They had auto lights.
What?
So I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't be doing this because the valve cover's leaking and I should wait till I do the valve covers. But how this is going to run compared to an actual NGK Iridium plug versus this junk auto light, night and day. And I didn't have to break any of these free, so I don't even think they installed it correctly or crushed the crush washer the right amount. But look at that, that one's covered in oil. This valve cover is just really bad. I mean, but these have been in a long time. So hopefully I don't have to fully warranty, another auto leak. Fully warranty all these out. Another electrode missing, just rough shape. Now my dad did have the hose pliers I like. These are the ones I was talking about. These are Mako, but you can get any brand. This grabs onto the wire nicely so you can pull it out. But he also has, these ones are specifically made for spark plug wires. So we'll try, I've never used them for this. I've always used this kind, but let's give these a try. Well, they work pretty good too. And I'd say these do not damage the wires at all. You can even grab it at the rubber point and pull them out nicely. This one I gotta squeeze a little tighter, get down on it a little more. Nice, got it. See if we can unplug it without, yep, I didn't think it was oh look, if you try to clip it down, it was like just sticking up, it breaks off. That's how it deteriorated. We always run a zip tie through them and hold them on there because these clips always break at the age. They work good still, so little clips break off. So that's number 2. Oh. There's our oil-soaked wires. And I'm gonna vacuum all this crud out of here. I'm gonna go and take all the cool packs out and get rid of this extension. I gotta say, like, even though I'm doing this on the road, it's super nice being here at my dad's shop. He literally has every tool you could possibly imagine, just like my shop, so. And it's cool working with my dad, man. I gotta tell you, like I said before, with the loss of family and everything I've been through, man, it's just nice to spend time with family. My dad and my stepmom down here, just great to see them. This one's rough. And I just used that hose plier on this, and it broke the boot, because the boot's so oil soaked that just grabbing it and trying to get that off there, it broke it. And it's like, doing this in a G-Wagon, it's like weirdly you have more room and weirdly you don't have more room. I'm gonna reach down in there with these guys and grab the metal. It's so deteriorated from the oil on the rubber, you can't grab the rubber and pull this one out. But I'll show you. Well, let me get the other one. You know, isn't it kind of crazy in a general sense that spark plug wires are just held on by like friction? I got that one. I buggered up both of these getting them out. I'll show you. Try not to lose. You don't want to lose the bolt in the coil pack, but ripping that one out. But as you can see, it was just deteriorated from, it's really oil soaked. And I grabbed that one really hard. So really the factory ones, the metal's a little longer, so you can grab higher up on the metal and then pull it out. These are like little heat shielding, and that helps. And they're labeled, so it's gonna be nice and quick to swap them out. Fourth and final one. Oh, that one completely came off. Shnikes. That's why these are nice, but if you're like gonna be reusing the spark plug wires, like if you're, make sure you're grabbing metal, not the rubber, like on these aftermarket ones, that's the only thing you can get to. That one came off nice. Got it. Look at that grab right there. Whew, just got it. Man, that thing is dirty. That's number 4. So you can see it broke right there. This one's in really rough shape. And you really want to do one side at a time, like fully do one side and then go to the next side. Did it get brighter in here? Or did I get electrocuted and I'm in heaven? I don't know. Toast, man. Oil soaked and toasted. Autolite. Again. Loosen this one up. More oil. And no tippy. Autolite. Shoo! I do not recommend Autolite in a Mercedes. I will tell you that. I will tell you that, my friends of the internet. Might have to get the rest out by hand. Bummer. I'm definitely going to do VRP, like factory log style headers on this. These things are really rusted up. Same. Another crappy Autolite. Dude, none of these are tight. Like, I'm not even putting the ratchet the whole way into the extension so I can pop it off easy. Which could be from age and time and the oil leaking down on it, I don't know. I know when I do a spark plug, it ain't coming out like this. But I'll show you guys, it shows right on the box how to torque the spark plug down. It's usually a quarter turn, you know, seat it, and then a quarter turn or half turn to compress the sealing ring. If you follow those instructions, you'll never be wrong. Unless it's boxed wrong. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to open up a whole thing with that. Missing the electrode. Yep. Another Autolite. She gone. All right, guys, last one. How is the back one the tightest one? That's hilarious. Like the hardest to get to one is the tightest one. You're like, I'm really making sure this thing's in there. This thing is dirty. Ta-da! Last one on that side. Awesome, let's clean some of this up. I just popped this thing off there so I can set it out of the way. I'm gonna wipe this valve cover down and vacuum it up. Now we need some brake clean and a rag and a wipe of that surface down. But there's a bunch of chunks just in these little valleys of the cool packs. We'll mint the cool packs out too. All right, cool. So I cleaned these valleys out. Just a light coating on there. Kind of clean it out. Nothing crazy. Because we're replacing these valve covers. My dad powder coated new ones bronze for me. So we don't need to clean them up just so that, you know, performance for the cool packs, not for looks or anything like that. As clean as we can without really spending too much time on it. Because like I said, it's all getting replaced. I gotta say, this turned out pretty good for just wiping it down. This valve cover is gonna be a nice one to powder coat. It is in really good condition from some of the other ones I've seen. All right guys, putting in the first spark plug. The directions say to seat them and then a 1/4 to 1/2 turn. So let me get another extension, small extension, so I can get on this good. So I got it seated. There's a 1/4. There's a 1/2. So it said a 1/2 to 2/3 actually, I'm sorry. So that definitely was that. So a 1/2 to 2/3 after it's seated. And that is so this crush washer right here completely crushes and flattens out, and that takes their torque load. Yep. I like the feel of that. That's like basically how I do it anyway. Back in the day before they put the nice instructions on it. So you load up your new spark plug. Now I usually check gap, but I'm just gonna eyeball it for this one because when we get good into boost, I'm gonna do a colder spark plug. This will run perfectly fine with the blower setup at first, but then once we start adding mods and getting into more boost, I'll put a step colder plug in it. I just want to know that it runs healthy first, drive it around, and then we'll start adding boost as it goes. All right, so 1/4, 1/2, about 2/3, all right. That is that. Rinse and repeat for all 8 spark plugs on this side. Check that tip. Make sure she looks right. And honestly, once you do the appropriate torque they suggest, you really can feel it from there on if you've done this for a while. Looks good. Last one on this side. And that's it. And that is all 4 on that bank. Looking good. Look how that header needed replaced though. But we cleaned up the valve cover, and now time for wires. All right guys, that was our old spark plugs. You can see just the nastiness of these plugs. I'm glad to be rid of them. Okay, so cool pack number 1. You can't really read what that says. Obviously it's an A and B, so A goes forward, B goes back. A goes forward, B goes back. So we're gonna match that up with a long one. That's probably, let's see, 6, 7, and 8. So that's bank 5, 6, 7, and 8. I just did 1, 2, 3, 4 just because I'm working on it at that side. Put 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this will be 5A and 5B. So I will find that in my pile of new wires that are also labeled. And not all of them come labeled like this. This is a nice convenience, but not all of them will come labeled. So I got my 5A and my 5B, and I'm just gonna swap them one at a time, then I know they're good. I'll throw a little bit of dielectric grease around the edge here, but nothing too crazy. I see people putting too much in and just really messing stuff up. And you can even see on the coil pack, it's labeled right here, A and B, which one they are. This one's 4A and 4B. So that must have been what position it was in the factory. But we're gonna pop these off. I'm gonna take the bolt out. So I'm gonna clean these coil packs up. I'm gonna get some brake clean and wipe this rusted up part and kind of clean that up. Grab it with Handy pliers here, twist it, pop it off. So much easier than doing it by hand, fighting it. All right, I'm gonna clean this up and wipe it off. Not that much, just enough to wipe away some of this. Now, I'm not trying to make these new or anything like that. I fully intend to replace these when the supercharger's on it, on top of them new cool packs. But I just want all this dirt and debris out of there. I'll take some air. So this is rusting, so I would replace that, but I just gotta get home, make it back to the supercharger, and then we will square these away. We have our A and our B. So I got my A right here. Got her plugged in. Got my new B. Match it up with B. And there you go. That is a made in Germany setup, ready to go back in. And you'll do it with all these. All right, guys, and you remember Lydia from the last GTS video? My stepmom, she came in with some food for me and my dad and some milkshakes. Oh, steak and shake milkshakes too. That is the best. I love a good steak and shake milkshake. What a good time for a commercial break. Thank you. We love you. Thank you, Lydia.
You're welcome.
This episode is brought to you by Lydia. She sent me gas money for this trip also. Love her.
All right, so hi, I'm Greg Kennedy with Fat Boy Cycle and Auto Repair, also TP Custom Cycle and Powder Coating. Also, Craig Kennedy's dad from Modern Masters in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Well, I've been in the car business pretty much my whole life and went through some health problems, so closed my shop and worked out of my home. When I got a clean bill of health, I decided to venture back out, and Fat Boy Cycles came for sale. So we combined it with TP Custom Cycles, and we work on cars. Most of my employees do that work, and I do a lot of custom cycle work, whether it's build from scratch or people bring their bikes in for rebuilds, tunes, or custom bolt-on products. And myself, I like to build from scratch. I like to design in my head a bike and then bring it to life. We exclusively use prismatic powders, and they have 7,800 colors now. So to pick a favorite color would be pretty difficult, but purples are my go-to. However, I did just made my own color out of a bronze and put a flat clear on it, and I like what it came up with. I'm sure you've seen it in other videos or pictures. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget my son, Modern Masters in Martinsburg, West Virginia. He is the best AMG guy on the planet.
Perfect. All right, give me a hug, dude. Love you guys. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, and back to the video. All right, guys, my dad gave me this Ryobi like Dremel thing. There was a lot of rust on two of these on this surface where it grounds out, so I'm just slightly going over it to agitate that rust and break it up off the surface. Now I'm replacing these when I get back, so it's not like the end of the world or a huge deal. But you just want to agitate it enough, break it loose. All right, cool. So that was really rusty. A little bit of brake clean. Wipe it all off. I'm gonna blow it with the air tool. She's good to go. And I'm just gonna clean up some of the bolt threads where I see rust, because I'm gonna reuse these on the other valve covers. So it'll take some time and clean them now while I have the tool. But just cleaning the bolt head, the back side real good, because this grounds through the bolt. So clean it up, fresh microfiber, get the crud off of it. And that thing is as good as new. You can just see how crusty that is starting out. Oh, this is definitely ripping all the junk out of the threads and rust. Cool. I'll wipe that off. We'll go and hit the other one. Oh, look at that. All the dirt coming off that thing. Oil soaked. Get all that off of it. Really, the bolt head is the, cleaning the threads and the bolt head. Magnesium starts to wear in there. Won't ground as good. I'll throw these in the ultrasonic cleaner too when we go to do the nice new bronze valve covers. Just wipe it off. Cool. And little things like this, it just makes it look like you cared and the project's gonna work out better. All right guys, and that is the completed cool packs, the cleaned up bolts and wires. So 5A and B, 6A and B, 7A and B, 8A and B. We're gonna get this all back together. All right guys, and this is good to note. It tells you where they go, A, B, A, B, A, B, but then it also tells you what cylinder. So 5, 6, 7, and 8, and it's labeled A and B on the valve cover. All right, let's get this party started. Nice tug. I'm gonna I'll put all the wires in, I think, and then bolt the coil packs in so I have the optimal room. Really want to push these in so they're good. Last set, number 8. All right, cool. They all feel good to me. And then you just set them up on their respective ledges. And we will bolt them down one at a time. All right guys, now we got them all in place, they're in good position. I'm gonna go ahead and snug it down. You don't go crazy with these. This is magnesium threads inside, just enough that they're good. So they're all tight. And now that we did this, I'm gonna go and get rid of these marks I put on here. That was just for me to pull them off and remember which way they went. That is not the correct, order. So we're just gonna get rid of my paint marks. That was just for this process. And you can do the same thing on the other side, just so you know, okay, that was the first one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. But everything is where it needs to go. This is completed. And I think the writing looks tacky when I see, completed project and it's on there, but that looks, wow, that looks new. This looks fantastic. Now you can see all of the threaded bolts. They just look beautiful. The valve cover's cleaned up. The wires are looking nice, all in the correct order, looking perfect. This side is complete. All right, just going through loosening them all so that I can zip them all out. But let me tell you, every one of them so far, except for cylinder 1, have been super tight. Could be from the oil of this side of the engine burns, could be from over torquing them, could be they're done at a different time than the other side. Here comes the first one. Let's see it together. That is a way tighter gap, and it just looks auto light. Yay! Not that I'm actually excited, because I'm not, but at least it's the same as the other side, so it's probably done at the same time. Way cleaner porcelain though. This valve cover must not be leaking in that area. Oh, this one is freaking covered in dielectric grease. Oh my God. Dude, wait till I show you guys. Dude, so much. That is insane. Just packed. Whoever did it, definitely, oh, we got a Denso plug, guys. We got a different plug. One packed full of dielectric grease. Denso plug so far. Denso plugs. So we got 2 Denso plugs so far. And I mean, just packed freaking full of dielectric grease. My hands are covered in it. Which I love dielectric grease, don't get me wrong. But there's a time and place for everything. And I like everything in moderation. Man, my freaking back hurts. Auto lights, we're back to the auto light. Cylinder 3 must have popped a misfire at some point or something, and they just swapped out both cylinder 3 plugs with some Denso plugs. I think I got it. Yep. And the last one, auto light. So, and the plugs don't look nearly as bad on this side, even though this is the side that smokes. But there's 2 of our auto lights, and there's that Denso. Look at all that dielectric grease. That's what made these last so much longer. These kept the tips all caked in dielectric grease. Got my collection of old and busted spark plugs there. And I got they brought the Dremel over, so we'll unpack our new ones. Got 8. That's the biggest cost in this, is you got 16 spark plugs, 16 wires, and then 8 coil packs. Lots of, you know, so it's lots of labor. Not only is it a lot of expensive parts, it's a lot of labor to do all of it. Just because it's time consuming, not because it's difficult, just time consuming. I mean, if you do it the wrong way, it could be a difficult problem to fix, but if you just knock it out correctly, no fuss, no muss. So, got our spark plugs laid out. These NGK spark plugs, you do not put anything on the threads. I know you old timers like to use that anti-seize. There's already coating on here that is for the anti-seizing. And then you see the coil packs are extremely dirty over here. So we're gonna clean these up. We're gonna wire them up. By putting the new wires in, we're gonna clean our bolts up. And that is a completed project. 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. That's perfect. All right, now we're gonna put in our beautiful new plugs and just look at them comparatively to the other side. So the other bank was just way worse. That valve cover gasket is definitely helping ruin those plugs. This side is not leaking, so they lasted a little bit longer, but good chow. And we're doing all new valve covers, valve cover gaskets, everything when we get back. But everything is looking nice. Let's get this all back on the car. Anybody else terrible at these 9 AMG car engine covers? If you're terrible at this too, this is a good time to go out and get an AMG or put a supercharger on one of these so you don't even have to deal with this thing. Ta-da! Ta-da! I am hot. I am hot. Get some of that clean up from my forehead. All right, let's do first startup, guys. I should really wash my hands, but it's my car. I'll just use my rag here. Hopefully it starts up. I should charge the battery up. She is smooth. Clean as a whistle. Looking good, sounding good. I love the tips we did. This has to be one of the best sounding G500s I've ever done without a blower. Let's check that RPM. Perfect RPM. Look at those miles. No check engine light, smooth as a baby's ass. I'm excited. I'm really excited to drive this home now. Between the brake controller they hooked me up with, my parents hooked me up with, and the tune-up stuff. Shout out to my dad's shop. He did sponsor this video by supplying his son with the spark plugs and wires. So if you guys need anything powder coated, or if you need a motorcycle worked on in the Eastern Florida area, hit my dad up on his social media and check them out. So let's get to towing. All right, guys, thanks for following along with me on this journey down here to see my dad and to go to those classes. I couldn't bring you to those classes, but we got to do a cool DIY of a tune-up on the 280,000 mile G-Wagon that is on its way home to get a supercharger. So wish me luck on my drive. Well, hopefully by the time this video comes out, I will have safely made it home. But wish me luck anyway, because I will always need it with high mileage AMGs. So take care, everyone. Like this video, give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, and I'll see all you guys later. Alligator. Later, alligator. Anthony, thank you for all the editing. I appreciate you. I'll see you later, my friend. Hopefully, and hit up Texas Roadhouse when I'm back. Ka-chow. It's hot here in Florida. It is hot. Usually my dad has a shop air conditioned, but they're redoing the door and a couple other things. So they're just using fans today. That's why I keep taking breaks going in the office, because my lung disease cannot take hot and humid. It is just wears me out. I don't think I got them in. Are they in it? No. All right, cool. Once we do the supercharger. I'm gonna have to call the labor board about the temperature in my dad's shop. This is just not a great working condition. No, I'm kidding. I can't wait till he gets the AC going back in here for him. I know my dad had throat cancer, so his breathing is just as bad as mine. So I know he needs the AC. All right, guys, we are about to zip the spark plugs out of here, and the compressor's running. Test, 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 right here. A little windy today. Hey guys, welcome back. This is the point of the project where I would have my tech be like, all right, everything's good to go now. It's ready to be buttoned up. Go ahead and button it up. Go ahead and do the buttoning. I put the shirt on. You button it up, because I gotta roll. Cool. Oh yeah, now we're cooking with bacon grease. Now you guys can see. Welcome to the party. Dad, look at this. The electrode completely was worn down, the tip of it.
It'll run like a different car.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. There's your problem. Guess what kind of spark plug it says? Guess the brand. Autolite. In a freaking Mercedes. That's like a $2 spark plug.
Yeah.
Oh my, this thing ain't gonna know what hit it.
I don't even use Autolite.
I'm not even gonna need to supercharge it. So it's gonna be nice and quick to swap them out. In there where I want them. Dad, your phone's ringing. Test, test, test. Dad! Where's the Windex? Where's the Windex at? We're looking for Windex. I need some Windex. I mean, I can just use brake clean too. I just want to wipe the engine cover off now I'm done. Like, for that to be the, oh yeah, I just want something to hit it with.
You, Craig. You, buddy.
All right. Hopefully this footage is okay, and get started on this tune-up.
G-Wagon.